I see a totally strong woman here in this picture.
She was.
Any favorites?
Oh, where's the one with her hugging her grandchildren?
This one right here.
Yep, she loved her grandchildren.
For the mother who went to the ends of the earth for her kids, they thought they were doing the same for her.
Tell me what you think of it.
He's good.
He's good, eh?
He's good looking, yes.
Oh,
So when the time came for Gladys Schmiller, wrestling with dementia, to move into a long-term care facility,
Very nice, Glad.
That was very important.
her daughter Joy did her homework, examined inspection reports for facilities, visited them, used a checklist, and when she chose Allendale and Milton and saw her mom almost every day, she made sure to get to know the staff.
They truly became part of my family. I baked, took cookies in, go in on the weekend, like they were family.
From the best of efforts came the worst of outcomes. Schmiller was hit one day in June of 2018 by a personal support worker. The assault took a toll. She had medical problems afterwards, and within a few months, she died. It was a 61-year-old personal support worker who abused Schmiller, a woman who'd been a family favorite.
I trusted her. We trusted her. I would go in and she'd tell me what she'd done. She was the one that would tell me, like, if my mom needed clothing or whatever. She'd joke. She had a fabulous sense of humor. We knew, she'd talk about her family. She knew me.
And she knew your mom.
Oh, she knew my mom.
The support worker was eventually charged, pleaded guilty to assault, and was given a conditional discharge. But the fault and failures weren't hers alone.
There needed to be two people there to help her to get ready for bed.
She was assaulted in full view of yet another person.
Yes, and she reported it to a supervisor who didn't carry it forward.
The employee who witnessed the assault reported it. When that complaint went nowhere, she went above the head of her boss. The police were called, and they charged the personal support worker. But the rules are clearer than that. Reports of abuse cannot be ignored, and yet it happens.
Hi, Miranda.
Hi.
Nice to see you.
Miranda Ferrier is the head of the association that represents several thousand personal support workers in Ontario.
We can't put enough feet on the street or bodies in long-term care.
It's a voluntary association she runs mainly from home, where she meets with people in the long-term care industry.
What I like, but it holds them accountable.
The association recently commissioned a survey to ask, in part, what happens when workers report abuse?
The numbers were astounding. Did you witness abuse in long-term care? Yes. Did you report it? No. Why didn't you report it? Because they're not going to believe me, or I'm going to get in trouble for reporting.
You can't have somebody sitting there watching.
When incidents are reported, inevitably, there's an investigation by the ministry. CBC examined the investigation reports at Allendale and found one in which workers spoke of other incidents of abuse that had not been acted upon. Then, looking at all the data from all the long-term care homes in Ontario, CBC learned 15% of them have been caught not reporting abusive incidents to the ministry, and some repeatedly.
What does that number say to you?
That it's a lot lower than where it should be. Not reporting in long-term care is an issue.
It's all too common that somebody.
As for personal support workers, how are you supposed to know the reputation or credentials of the worker who's with your loved one?
If PSWs were to be regulated, there would be an avenue to pull their certification, to discipline them, to help them if they require the help, and to give the public that ease of mind.
Do other provinces do it better?
There is no other province that does it.
And yet, these are the people with the toughest, most delicate of jobs dealing with those at their most vulnerable.
Okay, say bye-bye for now.
Bye-bye for now.
Gladys Schmiller in those last days was especially vulnerable, needed both kindness and care.
She made the best out of everything, and everyone was attracted to her because she...
Possibly, regulation, better pay, better inspections may make a difference for someone else's fragile family member. That, for Joy Wilcox, would at least be a relief knowing change was coming.
You'd done your homework, you picked a place that had good reviews.
Very good reviews, yep.
You think about how often you visited.
Yeah, and something still happened. Which I just think, what about those poor people that don't have anyone? I worry about them.
Wilcox sued Halton Region, which operates Allendale, and they settled. Halton Region says the investigation into Schmiller's case found reporting of the incident was delayed and appropriate measures, including actions against those who failed to report, have been taken to ensure that this does not reoccur.
And also, if there's someone in a room that's calling for help, do the staff go and assist them, or do they?
Wilcox is now offering to help any and all friends try to navigate the world of long-term care.
I think that's important. How much do they encourage participation in the activities?
Her daughter is now well-versed in all the homework and hard work of researching a residence.
Great light and lots of windows and a little bit more space. And
It's all she can do now that the worst for her has already happened. Adrienne Arsenault, CBC News, Milton, Ontario.